Welcome to Forcorp's tutorial on third-party requests in eLands. Third-party agreements are necessary to give Forcorp's clients authority to operate on, near, or across another company's assets. Forcorp prepares request packages, sends out requests, reviews, and signs off on agreements, all by using the eLands system. eLands will perform spatial processing to determine what agreements are required and what company the requests need to be sent to. In this video, we will cover request types, status layers, request stages, and best practices for investigating third-party request states. Let's take a look at the request types generated within the system. Access encroachments are sent when any new temporary road connects to an existing disposition road. Block encroachments are sent when a planned cut block includes disposed areas with harvestable timber. Ground disturbances are sent when an activity that could potentially cause digging or rutting deeper than 30 centimeters are within a certain distance of a pipeline. Crossings are sent when a road crosses a pipeline or a power line. Road use requests are sent for any access over disposed lands. Moving on to the status layers. eLands has two different layers available for showing a third-party record's status on the map. The ops status layer shows requests that have been sent and displays a color based on the amount of time that the records agreement is still effective, red being the least amount of time and green being the most. The admin third-party status layer shows more administrative information on request records. Therefore, there are more colors that can be reflected on the map. Typically, users who are involved in the requesting process will use the admin layers, while operational users will focus on the ops status layers. Make sure to only use one of these layers at a time, as they represent different information whilst displaying the same colors, and having both layers active can cause confusion. Both status layers have a separate layer available for the 5 main request types sent through eLands. Next, I'll explain what is meant by a request stage. Third-party request records will all have a stage showing on the status layer. These are updated in the system as a request record moves through the requesting process. A generated request record that has not yet been reviewed by Forcorp will display as not approved. Once this record has been reviewed and approved, it will display as not requested. Or, if Forcorp determined it was not required, the request would be cancelled. After an approved request record is packaged and sent to the grantor, it will move into the waiting for grantor stage, and can then move into waiting for grantee, grantee agent, or back to grantor for various reasons. The request may end up being potentially rejected, or move on to finally being fully executed once both the grantee and grantor have signed the agreement. One of the request stages is issues, which actually reflects a fully executed request record, except that the record may require closer review because the agreement is not effective for the entire timber year, or the grantor does not match the listed owner, possibly due to an owner change. Here are some of the best practices to use when looking into third-party request states. When a third-party status layer is active on your map, it's important to note that the status is being shown for the default time frame of this current timber year. To look back at past requests or agreements, move the time slider to the left at the top of the map. You can also move the slider forward in time to check if an agreement will be effective next year. It is also important to set up your third-party layers for optimum viewing. For example, this could include changing the opacity to be more transparent, or editing the Z order to prevent layers from stacking on top of each other and potentially being hidden. If you do have a few layers on at once and you're having a hard time distinguishing between what is shown on the map, the Identify tool can help. The active layers will show in the Identify results, and when hovered over will highlight on the map. Or the URL hyperlink will open the request in the top right entity details. The status layers update on a daily basis overnight, so if a request record has been updated that day, you won't see the change until the following day.